the WrestleMania Minutes on Down the Aisle Wrestling Podcast with Robbie Mack and Kevin Laramie. Here's Kevin Laramie. WrestleMania 6, live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Rob, in your backyard. It was a historic night at the Sky Dome back then.
It sure was, Kevin, and not only at the Sky Dome, but the brand spanking new Sky Dome that was just built a year prior, home of the Toronto Blue Jays. The Sky Dome was really state of the art then.
It was one of the most important venues in the entire world in 1990, and it was the reason why WWF wanted to go to Sky Dome. No, it wasn't for the fan in Canada, but it was because of the venue itself and the attendance for that night, which it's not going to be a joke, but it was on April Fool's Day in 1990. The record attendance for the Sky Dome then was 67,678 people in that dome.
Yeah, and it was the first WrestleMania to be held outside the United States. And for me, Kevin, this is the first WrestleMania that I remember.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah, this is and maybe it was because it was in Toronto, but this is the first WrestleMania I remember seeing a build up for.
Well, you were 8? No, you were 9.
I was 9.
I was 6. So yeah,
well, I was 8 at the time, but so yeah, this is the first WrestleMania that I really remember a build up for. So this is kind of where I will put my starting point as watching wrestling, as in 1990. I know I was watching wrestling before then, but WrestleMania 6 is my first memory of wrestling.
We shared that date for that same reason, and it was billed as a title for title, champion for champion, the Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Challenge versus the Hulk Hogan.
And what a thing at the time, Kevin, to see two faces go head to head, which was almost unheard of. And
what a weird match too.
It was a weird match.
And crisscross, I still can't get over it. What'd you do on the crisscross? But anyways.
But I mean, the way that the match was set up, the way that it was built, WWF took a gamble because this was supposed to be Hogan passing the torch to Warrior.
And it wasn't, because the torch just stayed. Even though it was extinguished, the spotlight was still on Hogan when he was retreating to the dressing room. Let's just put it like that. And it was really foreshadowing what's going to come later in the year and the years to come.
And it's funny that you say that, Kevin, because for me, the story wasn't Warrior winning the title. The story was Hogan losing the title.
And Hogan is really well known, and that quote is known in the world of professional wrestling. He said that he knew that they were in trouble when the crowd and everybody was looking at him and not at Warrior in the ring when that happened.
There's some interesting tidbits of information from this WrestleMania. Robert Goulet, who sung the national anthem.
It was bad. Oh, it was so bad.
Well, Kevin, I think a big reason for that was Robert Goulet didn't know the words to the national anthem.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Robert Goulet's Canadian.
I know.
How do you not... You go to school, how do you not learn the words? I know you're a big Hollywood star at this point, but I mean...
Sure.
How do you not learn the words to your home country's national anthem?
And the words were actually shown on the big screen too, and he could not even pull that off.
Maybe that's why they went to Sky Dome, so he could have a big karaoke bar. This was also the last WrestleMania for Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yes, Gorilla.
So Jesse, we say goodbye to Jesse at this WrestleMania.
And apparently during the WrestleMania too, they uncovered some shocking video footage of some Jesse the Body Ventura. In a shocking position, but we never saw it. Gorilla said that it still exists, though.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. 1/3 of the 36 WrestleMania 6 competitors had died. This is one thing that I had just read.
If we're looking at the Lap Sign, which was one of the inspiration for this show, to be honest, for our countdown, they always have that. I can't remember the name, but the term they put on it, but.
The death toll.
The death
toll. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Just watching that show last couple of days, getting ready for this quick 5 minutes, I was like, wow, there's a lot of them that have left.
It's just insane because 1/3 of the people on this card have passed away, and that's pretty insane. I mean, and it kind of really, of course, it puts some stuff in perspective for your own life, but it really kind of, this was like the dark age as far as, you know, wrestling deaths coming up, like the early to mid '90s.
Yeah, it is. It is one of the first ones too, where one of the last of the first steroid era, you could say, just before the big trials of the early '90s. So it was in 1990, and one of the last WrestleMania with those huge big bodies, aka Earthquake and all that.
Yeah, and then you kind of don't. I mean, obviously, we're still a few years away from like Brett and Shawn headlining WrestleManias, but you're absolutely right, Kevin. They started to plant the seeds that they're not going to just go with the bodies anymore. Because McMahon, I believe there was a, I don't know if it was around this time, but this is when the big drug bust happened.
A couple years after, yeah.
Yeah.
Like about 12 months after this.
So I mean, there are changes that coming. So this is kind of, you don't want to say a send off to it, but it's really starting to after like the next couple of WrestleManias, you'll kind of start to notice a difference.
Absolutely. Speaking about a couple of other WrestleManias, next show, WrestleMania 7. Take care, guys.
Peace out.